Hi Danish tubers, and welcome to this little podcast-esque video where we're going to listen to the prince's speech, analyze it a little bit, and see if we can learn any Danish from it. Here we go. If you want to follow along with the speech as you listen, you can find a link in the description. So before we even get going, the first thing that was really funny is he kind of looked over to the side and got a nod from somebody. It was like, it's now, it's okay, can I go now? Yes, it's now. No, okay. Og så grinede han lidt til sig selv. Han sort of laughed a little bit of himself, so had a bit of a chuckle. That was kind of cute, I guess.
Deres majestæter, deres kongelige højheder, minister, kære familie, kære alle sammen. Ikke mindst jer, der er kommet 2 og 2 fra alle hjørner af kongeriget.
There's that air of royalty when he says the word kongeriget. Kongeriget, the kingdom, everybody from the kingdom.
Det er stort for mig at stå her i dag. Tak farmor for de fine ord og den flotte fejring. Tak far og mor for at støtte mig og være der for mig hele vejen.
So the first thing that I noticed is that his language is not overly royal in the sense of like the way that the Queen speaks. And a simple example is this very sort of colloquial way that people say my, meaning like me. He says like it's important for me, det er vigtigt for mig, or he said it was a big thing for me, det er stort for mig. And then he mentioned about being there for me, og være der for mig. And instead of pronouncing my, he's pronounced ma. And I guess like the Queen usually would pronounce my. I'm not sure, I mean maybe sometimes she says ma. But that's a very colloquial, street sort of Copenhagen-ish way to say my. Ma.
Og tak til alle unge, der er med her i dag. Det føles rigtig godt at være omgivet af så mange jævnaldrende.
The way that he says, rigtig godt, det har været, eller det er rigtig godt, det er rigtig godt. Like, it's really good. And that accent is really Copenhagen. I love that.
Vi er ikke ens, men vi står samme sted i livet. Vi har noget til fælles, og i aften er nyt for os alle.
This part was interesting because he says like, we're not the same, vi er ikke ens, men vi står samme sted i livet, or noget som det, but we're the same place in life, we have something in common. What do you think he means by that? I mean, it could just mean simply that like we're all different, but do you think it's something like, you know, I'm a prince and you're kind of not? What do you think? Leave a comment.
Det gør det lidt nemmere, og det har jeg brug for lige nu. Sidste sommer skulle jeg starte i 2G på et nyt gymnasie. Jeg var nervøs. Rigtig nervøs.
Again, interesting how the prince can show his sårbarhed, his vulnerability. He's a normal person. Check it out. Who would have known? He's going to a normal high school. He also feels nervous like you and I do.
Alle i min nye klasse havde kendt hinanden i et år. Jeg var ham den nye.
I like how he says, ham den nye. I was him, the new one, the new kid.
Så der stod jeg med høj puls og tør mund på tærsklen til noget nyt.
På tærsklen til noget nyt. On the threshold to something new.
Jeg overvandt mig selv, fik sagt hej og præsenterede mig for mine nye klassekammerater. De tog godt imod mig, og et skridt ad gangen lærte jeg tonen, rutinerne og de andre elever at kende.
So you hear this a few times throughout the speech. Et skridt ad gangen. Et skridt ad gangen. One step at a time. You had to learn the routines and, you know, the flow of how everything is.
I dag er det svært at forstå, hvad jeg var så nervøs over.
I wonder if you can hear the glottal stop as he says the word forstå. Forstå. I dag er det svært at forstå.
Det sker tit. Vi frygter noget, der ligger foran os. Og så snart vi er forbi det, så virker det helt ufarligt.
Nu kommer der lidt filosofi, og det kan jeg godt lide. I kender mig. Now there's a bit of philosophy coming. You know that I like that. And it's kind of like saying, you know, we often fear the things that are in front of us, but when it's over, we kind of think, well, that wasn't so bad after all.
Det minder jeg mig selv om, når jeg bliver nervøs. Det minder jeg mig selv om, inden jeg skulle stå her i dag. For det er stort at stå her med landets højeste orden og et særligt ansvar hvilende på mine skuldre. Heldigvis skal jeg ikke bære det alene, og heller ikke fra den ene dag til den anden.
A couple of nice things there. The the responsibility resting on my shoulders, but he doesn't have to carry it himself from one day to the next, fra den ene dag til den anden.
Jeg er spændt, men også tryg ved og stolt af at være en del af min familie.
Nice words here. The adjective spent, I'm excited, jeg er tryg ved og stolt af, so I'm secure in and also proud of being a part of my family.
Og jeg sætter en ære i at skulle tjene mit land.
That was a really nice one. Og sætte ære i, to take pride in. Jeg sætter ære i at skulle tjene mit land. I take pride in having to serve my country.
Så selvom jeg ryster lidt på hænderne i dag, har jeg hjertet med i mødet med fremtiden. Mange af os unge oplever, at der er høje forventninger til os. Både fra os selv og fra andre. For en stor del bliver forventningerne til et pres.
Høje forventninger, high expectations, and he says that these høje forventninger often become pres, it often becomes pressure, and he says especially for young people, but I think this can apply to almost anybody.
Alt for mange føler ikke, at de kan leve livet, som de gerne vil. Men i virkeligheden kan vi kun være dem, vi er.
Again, very philosophical for such a young guy. I like it. It's kind of like we feel like we can't live the life we wanna live, but we can only be the people that we are. It's kind of that conundrum.
Du er måske ikke den sjoveste eller den klogeste i klassen, men så er du garanteret noget andet.
You're maybe not the funniest. You're maybe not the cleverest, but you're with guarantee something else. Maybe you're the prettiest. I don't know. It's kind of nice to be the funniest and the cleverest, but maybe you're hot.
Vi behøver ikke være mest eller bedst for at fortjene en plads. Og det siger jeg, selv om der sidder et par håndfulde her i aften, som ligger helt i top, når det gælder kultur og sport. I er en kæmpe inspiration, og jeg elsker selv både at se og dyrke sport. Men jeg vil jo aldrig komme ind på banen, hvis jeg krævede af mig selv, at jeg skulle være på jeres niveau.
Okay, so the Danish modesty is also now creeping in. He mentions that there's some sports people there, cultural people there that are right at the top of their game, and if he was to sort of compare himself with those, he would never get onto the field. So it's that thing of recognizing you don't have to be the best at everything, but you just have to get involved, because that's what matters. I mean, it's nice to be the best, right? It's nice to be good at what you do, and that's sort of the goal. But I guess this is again sort of just that Danish humble way of saying it's okay to just play, something like that. I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section.
Tænk, hvor meget vi går glip af, hvis vi ikke tør prøve nye ting af. Vi behøver ikke at være et talent for at være med, eller at have det sjovt. Vi må gerne øve os og gå efter at vinde, men vi er mere end vores nederlag og sejre.
You want to go after the win, but we are more than our losses and our victories. What do you think? Do you agree? Leave a comment.
Uanset hvilken bane de udspiller sig på. Selvfølgelig vil jeg gerne være den bedst tænkelige tronarving, men jeg kommer helt sikkert til at træde ved siden af. Det bliver måske ikke med huller i strømperne på mit første officielle besøg, far. Men så bliver det noget andet.
This is for me where it gets interesting, because there's a fine line between being modest and then also having confidence, or rather lacking confidence. So it's kind of saying, you know, that of course he wants to be the best, but he's probably not gonna be the best. Something like that's what I understand. I mean, what do you understand? Leave a comment below. I kind of feel a bit like, it's okay to be modest, but well, it's okay to be good as well, and it's okay to have like high expectations of yourself and to push yourself and to say, you know what, I'm gonna be the best yet. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Leave a comment.
Jeg kan ikke levere perfektion, for hvad er perfektion overhovedet? Men jeg kan love dedikation. Jeg vil give alt, hvad jeg har, og jeg vil lære alt, hvad jeg kan.
Okay, det kan jeg godt relatere til. I can relate to that. I'm sure many of you also can. He kind of says, you know, I'm not going to be able to give you perfection, but I can promise you dedication. We talked about this on the podcast with Irvin, who was like, you know, you never get everything perfect. There's always going to be something that you didn't have, or that you didn't do, or that's not good enough. Men det er måske ikke pointen. Pointen er, at du bare gør dit bedste, og at du producerer noget, eller at du gør noget. Så det kan jeg virkelig godt lide. Det var en fed tanke.
Kære mor og far, I har altid passet på mig og Isabella, Vincent og Josefine. Alle i vores familie ved, at vi kan vende os mod hinanden og finde styrke lige der. Hvis en er nede på energi, er der altid en anden i familien, der har overskud.
Here's maybe the sentimental part of the speech, but some nice words, some nice phrases. He talks about at vender mod hinanden, we can turn to each other. And if one person doesn't have energy, the other person does have overskud. And overskud is an interesting word, because it kind of literally is like saying surplus. If you imagine having a stock of something, you have excess of that. Så har du overskud. But it's kind of a way to say, to have energy. One of us doesn't have energy in the family, for sure somebody else does.
Vi regner med hinanden, fordi vi altid har kunnet regne med jer. Som da jeg skulle holde tale til min gudsøn på Perlebur for et par måneder siden. Uden et ord fik jeg mig op at stå på det rigtige tidspunkt, trods nerver. I har altid både guidet og givet frihed. Og I har altid givet mig muligheden for at tage et skridt ad gangen.
Did you hear it? That was our expression from earlier. Et skridt ad gangen, one step at a time. He's talking about his parents guiding him, supporting him, helping him to take things one step at a time.
I dag er et af de skridt. Der kommer mange endnu. For vi bliver myndige på en dag, men vi bliver voksne hen ad vejen.
Oh, that was the best line of the whole speech. It was like, we come of age on a day, but we grow into adults, or we become adults along the way. Oh, that also rhymes. So he's kind of expressing that things don't change so suddenly. Yeah, it's my 18th birthday. It doesn't mean, boom, now I'm an adult, now I'm this, now I'm that. It kind of means that you have to, with life, go with the flow and take things et skridt ad gangen. One step at a time, folks.
Jeg vil gerne takke alle, der har været med til at fejre mig. Både jer, der er her, og alle jer, der har sendt hilsner og gaver. Jeg vil aldrig glemme i dag, men måske vil jeg huske den som allerede mindre udfordrende i morgen. Jeg skal finde min vej, selvom den fører et kendt sted hen.
What do you think he meant by that? Jeg skal finde min vej, selvom det fører et kendt sted hen. I need to find my way, even though it's leading me to a known place, in a known direction. What do you think he means by that? Does he mean like his future is kind of already laid out, or he's kind of already has all these expectations, things that are going to happen that he already knows about, but even though that's going to happen, he still needs to sort of do it in his own way? What do you think? Leave a comment.
Jeg har rødder mange steder i verden, og jeg nyder at rejse ud. Men hjemme vil altid være her, for jeg elsker mit land.
Okay, this is where things got a little bit weird, I have to say, where he sort of said, I love sort of traveling. I have roots all over the world, but it's here where I feel most at home, something like that, because I love my country. And he sort of looked into the camera like, I love my country. You have to know that. A little bit of nationalism, a little bit of home dedication. There's nothing wrong with loving your country, of course. You should love your country, dear God. At man elsker sit land. Just seemed a little bit unnecessary to sort of look into the camera and make it very clear in that way. Well, okay.
Jeg foreslår, at vi sammen rejser os og udbringer en skål for kongeriget Danmark.
Lastly, we have a reise, to rise. We have, of course, at reise, meaning to travel. Here he says, vi skal rejse os. Oops, sorry, I just hit my cup. We need to rise, we need to get up, and vi skal udbringe en skål. We need to, what would you say, make a toast. So, what did you think about the speech? Did you learn anything new? Leave a comment in the comment section. Og vi ses i den næste video. See you in the next video /podcast. Hej hej.